Thank you, Marcus. So we know that we've come to the end of our series of the Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren, but also the Catholic perspective on the purpose-driven life. And we've gone through a couple of talks, right, that have helped us um, be able to discover our purpose. The first one was, what on earth am I doing here? What am I here for? And the second was, we were planned for God's pleasure. The next one was, you were formed for God's family. And the next one was, you were created to become like Christ. And last week's talk was, you were shaped for serving God. And if you see, we've gone to be able to discover why we exist. And it evolves to why God needs us and to what purpose He wants in our life, because we were purposely created for a purpose. So today, I'm going to share you were made for a mission. And that, what is a mission? A mission is God is at work in the world and He wants us to join in. Okay. This is an assignment. It's called your mission because we're all here for a reason. We're not just here to exist, right? Just to exist and do nothing. We all have a calling, we all have a purpose. Your life mission is what you're called for in life. It's your purpose. So if we don't discover that purpose in our life, we will never be fulfilled. We'll always feel like there's a void, like there's something missing, like we're not satisfied with life. Like we're like, it's like a routine for us. Wake up, go to work, go to school, do whatever we do, come back, take a shower, go to sleep. It's like repetition, a cycle that goes by every single day, right? So it shouldn't be like that because when you're living out your purpose, sometimes your days they're like fly by, right? They go so quickly, but there's a meaning in them. Like there's a meaning in everything that you do, and there's a type of fulfillment in your heart, like a satisfaction that you did something right, that you did something with value. That's living your purpose. So as Catholic Christians, we God created us and He taught us through Jesus, by Jesus coming down to earth and becoming human. He taught us everything that we needed to know to continue His mission. Because the mission didn't just end there. You know, when Christ came, died, and resurrected, it didn't end there. It wasn't like, oh, that's it. You know, everything has been completed, everything has been done. No, He came here for a purpose, and that was to give us salvation, that new opportunity to mend, to be that bridge, right? To unite us again with Father God. But we have to continue that work. Why? Do you think everybody in the world believes in God? Do you think everybody in the world follows God? Do you think everybody in the world needs God? Yes. So we are here to continue that mission, and it's really important. Why is it important? Your mission is a continuation of Jesus' mission on earth. It's our responsibility to share Jesus to others. It's our responsibility to give that unconditional love that He gave us. Why? Because we want to save people, just like Jesus wanted to save us. And when He was on that cross, every generation in the world was in His mind until the end of time. And how is each generation going to be able to know who Jesus was? Through you and through me. So that's why it's so important. It's our responsibility, and we shouldn't take it as a burden, but a privilege. A privilege that God chose me and chose you to continue that work. That's how special we are, that we're privileged to continue that beautiful work. Telling others about Jesus is saving someone's life sometimes. There's people that are dying inside. We hear about so many people committing suicide. We hear about so many people, the tragedy that just happened today, I believe, of that man that killed his kids and his wife, that he was a veteran. So many people that need that healing, that have gone through so much trauma, that are broken inside, that need that loving that love from Jesus that mends and that heals people within so they could be able to love like him. And that's what people need. And that's why we're here. Our mission has an eternal significance. Why? It's impacting the life of many who receive the message. We have to take it as maybe we're the only Bible, like Marcus and others have said, that someone will read. We are the only reflection of God that maybe someone is going to see. So it's changing the life of someone for Christ. That's how important it is. We can't take it lightly because God has shown us a way, right? He has saved us, our broken life. He has mended together and he continues because we're still broken, but not as much as we were at the beginning, right? We're all broken people and we need someone to help us, and that is Jesus. And we've received it. So that's why it's so important for us to continue that mission. Our mission gives your life meaning. How does it give it meaning? It's like a legacy because we do it for Christ, for someone else, for someone else's life. It's not like being the richest person in the world or having all these material things or having all these degrees hanging on the wall. Not that it's bad, okay? So listen, it's just that all those things, when we die, they're going to stay here. But think about it. All the people that we help save, when we get to heaven and we're in front of God, what do you think he's going to say? All those souls, he's going to say, look, all these souls you helped me bring to me. Those are not going to stay here. Those are going to be in heaven. Those are our rewards, the things that we do. And it's not that we have to earn salvation, but we do have to maintain it. Because we can't just say, oh, Jesus saved me already. I could do whatever I want because I'm saved. No. We choose where we go. God gives us the commandments, and if we decide not to follow them, we know what direction we're going. It's not that Jesus is or God sending us to hell. We're going by our own will. So, salvation, God gave it to us through Jesus, but it's up to us to continue that road of salvation. And that's what we're helping others do. And that's the greatest reward, more than anything that we may possess in the world. And it's more meaningful. It's more satisfying knowing that you did something so good for others. How does it make you feel when you know someone's in need and you help them? It's like that satisfaction inside that you're like, this like, wow, like this feeling. So that's a meaningful feeling. It's not of the world. So what is the cost of fulfilling your mission? You will need to surrender control to God. And that is the hardest thing. Because we're the type of people that we want to control our life. We want to control our calendar. We want to control where we could do this, where we could do that. We want to control our schedule. Lord, I could serve you until I do this job. If not, I can't. Lord, I could serve you this weekend that I'm free. If not, I can't. My customers come first. My this comes first. My that comes first. We do not surrender to God. So when we surrender to God, of course, it doesn't mean quit your job, don't go to work. No, that doesn't mean that. We have to work. But it's like we're having that open calendar to God to say, hey, today, try to get off early because I need you here. Hey, there's someone that you're going to meet where you're at that needs you to speak to him about me. To be open to the changing of your life, of your plans, and doing God's will. When we do that, when we truly surrender to God our life and the control of our life, it's true freedom because we don't worry so much. We don't worry so much about our families, what they're going through. We don't worry so much about us, about our health. We don't worry so much about money. We do what we have to do, and then we surrender the rest to the Lord because he knows best. So knowing that we could surrender to the Lord and just let him guide us, we could do that. But how do we get there? How do we get to letting God take control? It's having a daily dialogue through prayer with Him, is going through to daily mass if possible. The priest said that at least going to mass an extra day. So meaning Sunday and then one extra day a week makes a difference in our life. Just one extra day, 1 hour extra, because the mass is 1 hour. So you go Sunday and just give the Lord 1 hour extra during the week, whatever day you can, that it makes a difference in our life. The Eucharist, taking the Eucharist, is Jesus Himself that is entering within our heart and speaking to us in that moment. He's present with us in our heart. And we have that dialogue on a personal level when He's becoming one with us. It's through the sacraments, right? We will learn to recognize the voice of God and the direction of God. And once we start learning how to be able to recognize His voice, then what happens? We start letting down our guard and giving the control to the Lord, because we become familiar with His voice and we learn to know, hey, I should do this, I shouldn't do that. No, this plan, I made it, but it's not good. It should be what God is telling me, where He's directing me. And we start giving Him control. And not anymore, no, I can't, Lord. I can do it at this time. No, Lord, I will. I'll postpone that for later. That's letting God take control of my life. And we need to share our life's message. 1 John 5:10 says, whoever believes in the Son of God has this testimony within him. So it's our testimony of life. It's the most powerful thing that we could share with others, to let them know what God did in our lives. And sometimes it's not even speaking. It's the way that we treat others. It's a reflection of God that we give to others. By the love that we share, by the compassion, by the patience that we have with people, because it's really hard sometimes. But by that, they learn to say, hey, this person is different. This person is really, really Christ-like. Now, there's so many powerful testimonies of saints that have changed lives. And the most recent one that I could say that is in our time, the youth's time, because we're a little older, back in the 60s or older. I don't know how old whoever's watching this, but a lot of the younger ones, we have blessed Carlos Acutis, born 1991 and passed 2006, known as God's influencer. This young teenager used his computer skills to document Eucharist miracles and lived life of fervent holiness before dying of leukemia at age 15. And his legacy is alive and continues. He left that 15 years he only lived in this earth, and he made an impact, and he continues to make an impact. We have Saint Josephine Vaquita. If you guys, I'm not going to say the whole story, but if you can look them up, read their stories. She was a former slave. Her life is a powerful testament to transformative power of faith and God's grace. Her journey from severe suffering to a life of Christian virtues exemplifies how God's love can heal and radiate through the most brokenest circumstances. She was hurt a lot by same Christians. And yet, God transformed her heart so much through all that suffering that she went through. She still maintained her fearlessness and love for the Lord and reflected that to others. St. Francis of Assisi, by living in poverty and humility, he imitated Christ and bore witness to the joy and peace of the gospel. Throughout the world, he is known for his deep love for all creation as a reflection of the Creator. He was a rich man, and he left it all to follow the Lord and transform the church. St. Therese of Lisieux, known as Little Flower, her little way of serving God is small daily actions, even while experiencing intense physical and spiritual pain, shows that sainthood is attainable through small acts done with great love. And the last one is Catherine of Siena, St. Catherine of Siena, a mystic who, despite having no formal education, advised popes and provided profound insights into God's love, having experienced powerful vision of Christ and eternity. So every single one of us has a story that can help someone, that can identify with us. We don't need degrees. We don't need, we first need to grow in our faith by how we spoke about before, attending a group, you know, going to a parish and joining a prayer group or a group that's going to help you grow, having a spiritual guide, which is a priest that you go to the sacraments of confession, reconciliation with, that could guide you into the growth of your faith. Because we cannot bring someone to Christ if we haven't grown in our faith, right? We can't. We have to first be really like this tight with the Lord, following all these sacraments and helping so that we could help others. But we could begin by small things, by helping the poor, by doing little acts of charity, by serving in mass, and continue growing spiritually. So then we could start doing more and more things. Instead of bringing, what we have to do too is watch out, because if we don't do all this first, you guys, we could become prideful. How? And thinking like, oh, I'm such a saint, everyone else is a sinner. And we try to take God's place and become the judge. And that's not what God wants. We could either bring people to Christ or we could push them farther away from Christ, because we are God's reflection. So the way that we treat others is going to tell others who God is, because if they don't know who he is and we're speaking about him, then that's all they're going to know. And if we're judging people, condemning people, that is not a reflection of God, because he didn't condemn us. He loved us. He forgave us. He redeemed us. And that's what we have to offer others: redemption, love, understanding. We have to help those heal just like he did. The most important part is living our purpose as God wills it. We see more people are turning into the Catholic Church. We see it, right? We see that many people are coming back to the Catholic Church. People are seeking God in this world that is falling apart. We can be a part of helping the world come back to true happiness, which is bringing God to the world. I hope that ending now, I hope that through this series you have been able to discover what is the purpose that God has put in your heart. And if maybe you missed some of the talks, go into your YouTube channel, live the whole series. And just the talks are 20 to 30 minutes, one a day during the week, so that you could discover what it is. If your life has felt like it's dry, unmeaningful, like you're missing something, like you're depressed or lonely, like you don't know what to do, God is calling you to a purpose, and he wants you to discover it. He wants you to see more of the good things than the bad things that you feel in your life, because sometimes we concentrate so much on everything that we lack, everything that we don't have, instead of everything that we do have. And that's because something is missing. So I invite you to go and seek it and to reach out to the Lord. You don't have to have fancy words. All you have to do is talk to him. Go to one of your parishes. I'm pretty sure there's groups there that could help you. And I want to end this night with a quote that St. Mother Teresa would say, and also a poem that's in the book. And the words that St. Mother Teresa of Calcutta used to say is, "The purpose of life is to love and be loved through small, ordinary acts done with extraordinary love." And I want to read this poem before we go into prayer. And it's a poem by Russell Kelfer. And it says, "You are who you are for a reason. You're part of an intricate plan. You're a precious and perfect, unique design. God called God's special woman or man. You look like you look for a reason. Our God made no mistake. He knit you together within the womb. You're just what he wanted to make. The parents you had were the ones he chose. And no matter how you may feel, they were custom designed with God's plan in mind, and they bear the master seal. Know that trauma you faced was not easy, and God wept that it hurt you so, but it was allowed to shape your heart so that into his likeness you'd grow. You are who you are for a reason. You've been formed by the Master's rod. You are who you are, beloved, because there is a God. God bless you guys, and just know that you were created for a purpose, for a reason. You are loved, you are unique, and you are needed here on earth. God bless.